As discussed in our previous videos, breathing has an enormous effect on many systems of our body. This includes the nervous, cardiovascular, digestive, muscular, and others. Breathing also influences heart rate, body temperature, metabolism, sweating, and blood pressure. It's a big deal. So it's important to use it in a way that best meets our needs. To rephrase George Orwell, we can say that who control the breath, control the brain and body. Today we'll talk about breathing techniques used to control stress. After all, this is one of the most popular reasons people practice focused breathing. Many different stress-relieving breathing techniques exist, but in this video we'll talk about 3 of our favorites. But before we get into specific techniques, let's briefly talk about how breathing affects the heart and the brain. It's important. It will help you understand how stress-relieving breathing techniques work. Coming up. What happens in the body when we inhale and exhale? When we inhale, the diaphragm moves down. This creates more space for the heart in the thoracic cavity. And the blood flow slows due to heart pumping at a low frequency. Then the heart tells the brain it should speed up, and as it would happen during a stress response, the brain inhibits the vagus nerve to tell the heart to speed up. So the heart beats faster. We call this tachycardia. When we exhale, the opposite happens. The diaphragm moves up, leaving less space for the heart. Blood flow speeds up and the heart pumps more rapidly, and sends signals to the brain saying it should slow down. After the brain receives the signal from the heart, it stimulates the vagus nerve. And the result is that the heart relaxes and slows down. This is called bradycardia. It may sound complex, because it is complex. But one big takeaway here is that if you want to relax the brain and body, we need to maximize the exhalation time of the breathing cycle as much as possible. In fact, most relaxation techniques require breathing out longer than breathing in. Actually, there is a second element that most relaxation-centered breathing techniques share. They tell us to breathe slowly, really slowly, like 3-4 breaths per minute. If we keep those 2 elements in mind and combine them with breathing through the nose and by belly, we can actually invent our own breathing techniques. It's simple as that. Amazing. Now let's talk about our favorite breathing techniques. Number 1 is the box breathing technique. It involves 4 steps that last 5 seconds each. Inhale, hold the breath, exhale, and hold the breath again. These steps can be collectively referred to as the 4 5s. And the key selling point for this technique is that it's quite easy to remember. Just 5, 5, 5, and 5. Simple, right? It's also proven to reduce anxiety, and it's useful during panic attacks. That being said, I personally found this technique to be a bit forced, since I usually spend less time inhaling and more time exhaling, while avoiding any idle time between breaths. That's why I really like the next technique. It's called the 4-7-8 technique. Inhale through the nose for 4 seconds, hold the breath for 7 seconds, and then exhale through the mouth for 8 seconds. The 4-7-8 technique is based on pranayama breathing exercises, and it's also extremely popular and scientifically proven to be efficient. It's even been shown to alleviate pain during natural childbirth and after surgery. It also reduces dyspnea or difficulty to breathe, and helps with anxiety and depression patients with COPD. It even boosts creativity, gives a sense of mental reset, benefits the heart, and helps people to fall asleep faster. My personal take on this technique, it's great, my favorite. Though, for the purpose of practice, I would extend each exhale by 1 second, to make the entire cycle 20 seconds, which works out for 3 breaths per minute. It's much easier to manage timing this way. Hold on, I just invented my own 4-7-9 breathing technique. Wow, it's so cool. Let's call it the Andrey Titov breathing method. I can imagine now. Konstantin Buteyko, Wim Hof, Andrey Titov. Amazing. Okay, let's move on. Finally, if you want to maximize the ratio of time spent exhaling to time spent inhaling, then the Sigh technique is best. Sighing is the body's way of getting you to relax without thinking about it. When we stress or crying, we naturally sob, which is characterized by a double whiff when inhaling and followed by a long exhale through the mouth. Just pay attention to this process the next time you cry, for whatever reason that may be. So, to perform this technique, we have to subconsciously inhale quickly twice through the nose, then exhale deeply through the mouth. Physiologically speaking, this sighs release the most carbon dioxide and naturally encourage us to spend more time exhaling than inhaling. For this reason, the sigh technique is actually better than the box breathing technique, although the sigh is less popular. It's also the most effective at lowering heart rate over the span of 5 minutes. Plus, it's easier to practice since the sigh method relies on technique instead of timing. I'll leave you with a couple more additional points. You may have noticed that box breathing and the 4-7-8 breathing both result in taking about 3 breaths per minute. This is actually the recommended breathing rate for the most breathing techniques, which focus on relaxation. It's really slow. Also, I suggest practicing controlled breathing for about 5 minutes at a time. This is enough time to achieve the desired level of relaxation. Finally, consider drinking a bit of water before getting started. Swallowing will stimulate the vagus nerve, and water will help you stay properly hydrated. That's it for today. I hope it helps and these breathing techniques reduce your stress level. Please share your own favorite breathing techniques with us in the comment section, especially if you invented your own technique. And don't hold your breath waiting around for our next video. I promise it will be out soon. In the meanwhile, don't forget to like this video, and if your friends are stressed, share this video with them. See you next time. Bye!